Well, it looks like it's recording this time. The first time I found out it didn't. Uh, I want to report more on the schizophrenia, tardive dyskinesia, and that sort of thing update. Uh, so, in the meantime, since I've not posted anything, I thank the subscribers who've added me to subscribe to me. I increased a number of people. Folks, I don't know who you are, I can't tell, but I appreciate your interest in what I have to say. Uh, so, and and the views of I just kept watching roll up on those the last three videos since May 22nd and May 29th, 2024. But, so this is the next video. In the meantime here, what's happened is I was waiting to talk to my primary, which I did 2 weeks ago this week, and she said, regardless of what caused the scoliosis, it took years to develop and is irreversible and just responds to physical therapy and exercise. So in January, this is now June. I mean, so was it 6 months ago? I changed aid providers because the previous aid didn't want to put the time in to go for walks with me to escort me in case I have trouble, because I have to sit suddenly wherever I'm at. I can't go just anywhere like walking goes, But and I had leg atrophy that was terrible from those 20 months, So the provider I got now gave me some aids that will walk with me, and when they do the laundry, I walk up with them and go so far as I can get. But my legs they can vouch for the fact that my legs have tightened up, and I can see the muscles on them lately here, But the problem was, I told the primary I needed a physical therapy evaluator who gave me physical therapy 4 years, summers ago, it'll be this year, and who's privy to those records and my recent spinal scan at a big city hospital with a more advanced machine than here locally, I guess, was a problem. But so they said my back is so messed up they wouldn't even do surgery on me there. I'd have to go to a specialty place where they do nothing but back surgery. And I said I'm not interested in surgery for various reasons. Anyway, the primary was going to go on vacation then this last week, the next week after I saw her, and she was going to read my first book she bought for the place where I get the most money, which is lulu.com, lulu.com. And the ebooks are available there because they're not ready for global distribution because it's too hard to fix right now for me. They need a cover put on them, an ebook. I don't know how to make ebooks, and the ISBN number put into them. But but they're available on Lulu the way they are. So if you want the ebook, it's half as much as a printed book. But so the psych nurse I talked to today too, about this tardive dyskinesia drug, because the primary said, well, yeah, some of this is like, since it's the tardive dyskinesia drug, Gestadio, is involved in the tardive dystonia responding. I discovered there was 4, 5, 6 different tardive movement disorders caused by antipsychotic drugs after the fact. You take them for so long that it damages your nervous system. But tardive dyskinesia is the nerves burning away to the fingers, extremities, the fingers, the face, the feet, and the appendages in between. That's why my muscles are building back up. The nerves are turned back on now by this Gestadio. We changed it. It was put me to sleep though, right? I was saying in the last update. It took two 24 milligram tablets, maximum dose, at one same time in the evening. I was to bed at the crack of as soon as nightfall hit, and awake as soon as the crack of dawn. I went that way for 3 months. I realized that's a normal circadian rhythm, but after being that way all my life, being a night owl, intellectual faculty is sharper at night. So psych nurse understands this, very well, and I make good sense to her. And so she said, well, try one every 12 hours. But when I did that, I got my nights back, but the level was lower. The last dosage took care of these symptoms of the shaking fingers and the muscle twitching here between the thumb and first index finger. So that was took the last from 36 to 48 milligrams took care of that. So we're still using the extended release to do this. So if she wants to check in with the pharmacy to see if they can get in stock, it would be 12 milligram tablets. I'd have to take 2 twice a day, every 12 hours. If that would work that way, she's going to check into it. if it was to increase the level in my system overall to keep that to work. Because when it was before when it separated them to twice a day, when they were once a day together, the symptom was cleared up all the way. It's pretty steady right now, but at other times it's not quite so steady. My finger is shaking again. So she had to check into that and some other stuff I mentioned that pertinent to the Austedo, but so it's interesting. She didn't. They don't. Neither one of them, the primary or the psych primary nurse practitioner, argue with the fact that I've showed the medical journal articles from Google Scholar searches about all this stuff, and I told her how I read them is the psych nurse I told this to. I said today. I just highlight on a computer. On a phone, I'm screwed. I don't know how to do anything on a phone, but yeah, they annoy me, but very much. But so I right-click, I highlight the word and right-click on it, and it'll say search that word for Google for that whatever you just highlighted. So I see the definition, then I don't make it a point to learn the medical word. I just go on. So whether it pertains to me or not, all I'm looking for to read through an abstract or an overview of a medical journal. I don't read all the guards jargon, how they prove what they say they've proven. The analysis at the top saying what they prove in the paper is all I care about. You need a doctor's education to understand the medical workings of a F2, G2, whatever receptor in the brain. And they hooked up with this tardive dyskinesia drug, these nerves that were burned away to the fingertips, the extremities. I can feel my hands touch each other now, and the warmth from each other. I couldn't feel it before because the nerves were burned away from the extremities. So that's a terrible. The antipsychotic drugs are very dangerous, and they can cause scoliosis. My doctors aren't denying this is true, and they're not. And the nurse practitioner, the psych nurse, said if the primary feels it's more the psych nurse's decision to do because it's a psychiatric drug induced, known as tardive dystonic scoliosis, or just simply dystonic scoliosis, and to get an accurate diagnosis for the records, I think they agree I need a neurologist, the psych nurse said. So she said if the primary don't feel it's her department, then they'll refer me to a neurologist, then the psych nurse will, because they were just astounded. None of them heard of it at their practice, So it's obscure. The primary said to me, the reason they don't know is because it's obscure. She said every day you got to learn something new that you need to know to do your job, doing that for a living, and you got to be constantly learning things, and unless you look for it, things like that are very obscure. Basically, she was saying. I said the word obscure. She said, yeah, that's what she means. So unless you look for this kind of stuff about antipsychotic drugs, you're not going to find it. And I use Google Scholar search. I stress that again. Where were we then? The primary was going to going on vacation last week, going to read my book, and she knows I would like her to review it when she gets time. And so there's no reviews up because there's been no verified purchasers before that I know of, because they all let them off me or out of the library who've read it, So that's why there's no reviews. But hopefully there will be some before the end of this year. Those practitioners will get around to reviewing the first book. And the primary has a second book to read too now. I handed her a copy, so if she wants to buy it, I'll sign that copy. But just read this about, it was titled Xanax Withdrawal and Aging and Residual Schizophrenia. It's the rest of the perspective on what goes on with my brain chemistry. So, so the thing is, so that's where it's at. She's going to check and see if she can put the non-time release version of Austedo into me. And if it'll work, raise the level every 12 hours and not put me to sleep, I have to take it all at one time. Or it's the immediate release instead of the extended release. So that'll be different if they can get the pharmacy to be able to get it in, because they have trouble getting this stuff in, expensive. So if we go to the other version and take the immediate release and have to take 12 milligram tablets, it's 4 a day. So there's a bottle of 30. That's 7. Basically, every week they have to give me a new bottle. So I don't know if they can do that. she was going to check with them herself, the nurse practitioner, psych nurse. So it was a good check in with both of them, and there was a student in with the psych nurse, and she asked questions, studying for a physician's assistant. I always did enjoy helping students learn, advanced students learn. The psych nurse thought I'd be an excellent example, which is I was on the roster for today, and that's so and so was in for a internship or write a paper, research paper or something. So I referred to, after her questions, referred to my book, and so did chimed in the psych nurse too. So hopefully some corroboration. So in the meantime, I'm just holding steady, stationary on the XR every 12 hours and the Esteto, and it's working. But so the physical therapist I need to consult is because I exercise in my shoes and they're like 2 inches high off the ground, and my muscles are toned for there. Then when I have to go barefoot, it causes me problems because my muscles are. So I told her the primary that day that these moccasins were doing the next day, and they came in the next day, and they meet me halfway between barefoot and high in my shoes for the inserts. But these are supportive too because they're memory foam. So they meet me halfway, but I still want to consult the physical therapist and see tell them what they told me 4 years ago what ended up being changing and causing extreme pain when it worked all along to loosen my back up when it put it back into place when the scoliosis curve took it out of place. So something I read tonight about saw said that the dystonic scoliosis is something or other. I don't know. It's a complicated thing to keep track of in your own life. I mean, it's hard. It's hell. I've been to hell and back again. I mean, so that's the report, I guess, for today, where we have 13 minutes. I didn't mean to go this long. I might watch this and do it over again. I don't know. But so until she gets a further approval for the drugs to change them and see what happens next, that's where it's at. I've got my nights back, but my hours spent usually, but there's a lower level of my body. My hands tend to shake though again. The last dose is reversed by taking it every 12 hours. So, but you need to fix that. That's what's coming up. And a neurologist, hopefully, to consult about this proper diagnosis for this back condition being caused by antipsychotic drugs, which are dangerous, and they don't tell anybody. The doctors don't even know. That's the problem with it. Who's behind this? The FDA and the APA, American Psychiatric Association, National Institute of Health? I don't know. But it's obscure knowledge, the doctors say, my practitioners say. So, is it a cover-up? They knew as long as it was 1983, I think I saw tardive dystonia was noted. I saw a paper back as far as 1998, but I researched it further and saw, I think it was 1983 they discovered that disorder caused by antipsychotic drug use all your lifetime. Then it hits you in your 40s or 50s, and that's the profile for it. No sign of it in your childhood, younger days. Okay, this is getting too long. Hey, I wish all of you well, and thank you for the new subscribers, and whoever you are. I can't tell, but I appreciate you watching, interested in me, and my content. And schizophrenia is hard to live, easy to live with, but the medications I said are all wrong somewhere else. They need to be gotten from different sources and start from the bottom up again on the drawing board for brain chemical drugs that cause these tardive movement disorders. For drugs that don't cause, that are effective for the psychotic condition, but don't cause these tardive movement disorders, and it's just short of a few months on a higher dose, right? So it's crazy. I know. I'm trying to help people understand this and understand. I understand myself and how it affects me. My whole lifetime is clear to me now. So thank you for your interest and reviews. I appreciate it.